Hi, I'm Arna. This is what happens on a Soul Sunday at my retreat space. What you're watching now is a group of people who have just done a healing journey and have received a message designing a piece of art that speaks to them. And here, what we're using is what I call mixed media. That includes paint, tiles, tissue paper, metallic paints, and all kinds of layering opportunities. So what you're seeing here is people working in silence because they've received a message. And the message today they received was from a treasure box that they found waiting on top of a mountain. And that's what you see here. You can see that treasure box opening up with a message. And now what you're seeing are all the pieces of artwork put on the table. There are 8 of them. So what was really interesting with this is I had the clients arrange the piece of work, and they found some really interesting things. And here is what they found. On my recent journey to the beautiful red rocks of Sedona, Arizona, I learned some wonderful exercises to relax my body and decharge.
One of the easiest releases you can do for your whole body is just to decharge. Bounce. Let the breath come and go as it will. No holding, no contracting. And just let all the cells of the body wiggle and jiggle. Let the energy discharge through the feet, through the hands. Breathe it out. I also love to go into a swing. There's lots and lots of cool energy practices and movement practices that you can do. But I don't really like to align myself with any one modality. There are gems in all the traditions, and as you can see, this is very akin to a kind of Qigong sequence. And that work is fantastic, but I really like spontaneous Qigong, where you literally just move as you need to in that very moment, and that's always going to be different.
So basically, all of us have traumas throughout life. Nobody gets through life without some kind of traumas. Physical, emotional, our aura body. And what I do with didgeridoo, Tibetan singing bowls, and gongs is to vibrate every one of the trillions of cells in the body. Now, Now those traumas get stuck in our tissues, our cells, and other parts of our body. And these instruments basically go in, vibrate those places where the traumas are so that they can bubble to the surface like a diver diving 50 feet underwater, and his air bubbles are coming up to the surface. And then we can work on releasing those traumas and bringing in forgiveness and other modalities for healing those wounds.
I am very fortunate to interview Dr. Brandy Quinn with her new book called The Fantasy of Death. Let's find out more about what this means.
Well, thanks first of all, Arna, for having me here. Very excited to talk about it. So The Fantasy of Death, it's a really short, easy read, so I'm hoping to get this information out to people. But first it starts out with my story about my near-death experiences that I've had, and then I move into a conversation about consciousness, quantum physics sort of backing that up with, you know, some scientific evidence. So trying to, in my writing, to bring together the mystic and the spiritual with the science about the truth that we are immortal and eternal in our consciousness. The reality is that we live forever. Not physically, of course, the body goes, but who we are at our core, our soul, that is our eternal, immortal part. And no matter what religion, what belief, none of that, everyone, you know, depending on their culture, they're going to believe that. But it's not about religion. It's about knowing that no matter what you believe, that you are immortal. Well, I think if we are moving through the world, not focused on the physical and the material, and that when we actually realize that we are eternal souls and we recognize our own divinity, that opens up a complete new perspective in the way we are actually then moving through our world on a daily basis. Your soul, your divine self, is immortal. Death is an illusion, a fantasy. There's no such thing as death of your true identity, your soul, consciousness, divine self, energetic part, the part that animates you. This soul part is not created and can never be destroyed. So if we look at the law of conservation of energy, the law of energy extends from the individual energetic fragments of consciousness that cannot be created nor destroyed into the collective unified field of one consciousness that cannot be created nor destroyed.